So she says, back in September, I lost my job. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I was working for a huge corporation for 6 years. One day we walked in, and they simply said, no more, shut the doors, and close us down. Before we could even blink, we were all effective immediately without a job. A few months passed without having any idea of what I was going to do. Just like everyone else, I had tons of bills to pay and so on. Then I received the opportunity in the DVD, and let me tell you, thank you for changing my life. I related so well to what you had to share that I wanted to start immediately. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for introducing a company that makes a career choice that I can be proud of. And then she goes on to say that she's using her new Mary Kay business to support herself, pay for her upcoming wedding, and help the people she knows who are also struggling in this economy. And then she wraps up her email by saying, all in all, I just want to let you know that you have truly impacted my life, and I am forever grateful for that. I've been looking at your website many times trying to find your DVD so I can purchase them so you can help others with me. Through your life-changing story, I'm going to put you to work. Once again, thank you. So let me tell you exactly what happened to this girl. Okay? And this is what you're going to do that is going to make your world so much easier until you have developed the skill to do it on your own. Okay? So the way that this works, this is what I have my own consultants do. Okay? I want you to follow this thought process with me. Okay? How many of you would like to share this business plan with 30 sharp, dynamic women in the next 30 days? Okay. How many of you have tried your darndest to share it with sharp, dynamic women, but every time a guest event comes to town or there's a great national or an amazing guest speaker coming to town, and for the life of you, you just can't get your people there. And you're just killing, because if you could just get them there, you know it would make all the difference in the world. I went through the exact same thing, and I got tired of not being able to get them to the guest event, so I decided to bring the guest event to them. So that's where this DVD comes into play. It's literally a recording of me doing a guest event a little while back. Okay? And the reason that I finally went to make it a DVD is for two reasons. Number one, I was having trouble finding a good way to identify with my Gen X and Gen Y people. All the other guest events that they were seeing were women that were a little bit older, and so they kept thinking they were going to wait until they were older. And I needed a way for them to see, no, don't wait until you're older, it doesn't get easier. Okay, so that was number one. And number two, when it's DVD, they're engaged. They're not just listening. Guess what? I consider myself to be a pretty darn good recruiter. I've had a lot of practice. But even as a good recruiter, even as a master of the business, even with my own confidence, my results are only a fraction over the phone as what they are face-to-face. Because no matter how good you are, it can still be challenging to buy into a dream from a voice over the phone. So I still have my hotline. I still use that with my consultants who can't get to the DVD, but our results with the DVD over the hotline are astronomically higher. Okay? This is what you can do simultaneously while you're first starting your classes. Okay? You don't have to wait until you've done your Power Start, and this is how I start them off. They start with 10 DVDs. This is how you do it economically. Use a Miracle Set bag and recycle it instead of buying gift bags over and over and over again. Okay? So popcorn and soda, you can go to Sam's and buy the individual popcorn bags in bulk, right? So you can do soda, you can do water. Water, it doesn't sort of really work. It doesn't really PMS. It's hard to explain the S when it's a bottle of water. Okay, but whatever. And then I become the feature-length film. Okay, and you tell them it's Mary Kay Night at the Movies. And it's literally the entire guest event right there in front of them in their living room. Okay, now stay with me on this. I'm going to explain it to you as we go through this. Okay, what happens is you fill the bag, the Miracle Set bag or the gift bag or whatever you're putting it down in. You put the popcorn in there, you put my movie, the DVD in there, you put the soda in there, and then off my website you print the guest event feedback form, and you roll it up and tie a ribbon on it so that it looks like a diploma when you're done. And you put it down in there. And then when you give it to them, part of what you say to them is that they're going to get $10 off of anything off of their next order if they will watch the video and give you their professional feedback. And if they can get their husband to watch it so that you can get a man's input as well, you'll double their free product. And you're done, really, then. That's all you have to do. Okay? Men are wired so differently. Men are all about the bottom line. Men want to know how much is it going to cost, how much are you going to make, and how much time are you going to take. And they can feel confident in those three things, they're good. It's the women who make it this emotional drama thing, right? Women turn a $100 decision into a life-altering decision. It's much more simple when the men are involved, okay? So that's why if you do the team approach, the spouse approach, your results will be a lot higher. But here's what I say when I'm using this, okay? I want you to make a list of the 10 sharpest, most dynamic women in your life. And what you're going to tell them is that you are in leadership training with Mary Kay. We are expanding in the area. We've got some new marketing materials and would love to get their professional feedback. And you say again right here, I know Mary Kay is probably something that you would never consider for yourself, and that's perfectly okay with me. But I have always been so impressed with you and your professionalism, and I would go to the moon to get your professional feedback. Would you help me out? Okay? So you do that with the 10 women that impress you the most, that they intimidate you, you're scared by them because they are just so sharp and dynamic and amazing. Okay? So you call them up, you have this conversation with 10 of them. You then start your campaign, and you send these, you distribute, let's just say, for example, for illustration's sake, that it's the first day of the month that you make all these calls, okay? So by the third day of the month, let's say that you've got all of these bags distributed. Okay, and you tell them, when's a good time in the next 2 to 3 days that I could swing by and pick it back up and deliver your free product at that point. Okay, so you get what they want for free, and you set your date to come back by and pick up the DVD. Okay? Now, in reality, you're going to tell them 2 to 3 days. It may take you a little bit longer than that to get back around and pick back up all 10. Okay? But let me tell you how we do this and how you manage your time very efficiently. Okay? Lunch breaks at work are a great time to do this. Okay? Another great time to do this is if you leave maybe 45 minutes or so early on your way to work and you swing by and pick them up on their way to work, or if you meet them for a quick cup of coffee or something like that on the way home from work. When I was learning to first do this, when I was first learning to do my interviews, my recruiter actually would go with me and swing by and get feedback so that I could practice. And I told them all up front, hey, you know what, someone who's training me in Mary Kay is going to come with me so that I can learn how she gets your feedback. And it was so great. And I just sat there and listened. Okay? So that's perfectly okay to do it that way. But your lunch break on your way home or on your way to work is great. All you got to say then is, you pick it up. Pick up their feedback form, give them your product, grab the Miracle Set bag if that's what you're using, and grab the DVD back and say, great, what'd you think? Okay? Women are smart. They can make their own educated decision. If it is anything remotely negative, that is when we shut up. Okay? Don't try to talk them out of it. Don't try to talk them into it. Don't try to overcome their objections. Great, no problem. Okay? And if they start to go into a negative whatever, just stop and cut it off and change the subject right there. Thank you so much for your feedback. I know you're in a hurry, and you know what? I'll call and I might get your feedback a little bit later, and I figure you'd probably rather me do it over the phone anyway because it's a lot easier that way. And then what happens is your director helps you with the follow-up. Okay? And you can even tell them that. All I got to do is get up the feedback forms, and you can say, hey, what'd you think? And right there, you're going to tell the ones who are really excited and ready to go. Okay, and you can kind of start working with them and layering them and taking them to the next step. The rest of the ones, you just give the feedback forms to your director, and she'll take it from there.